This little thing is one of the most powerful pieces of gear at my studio. It's a remote control from my main interface that allows me to work on Dolby Atmos mixes, recording, switching monitors, and accessing lots of features in a really easy way. Stay tuned, we're going to check it all out. Hey, my name is Louis Piluso. Hope you're doing very well. I'm a musician, producer, mix engineer, sound engineer. This is my recording studio, and today I want to share with you this wonderful remote control by Apogee that allows you to control any of the Apogee interfaces that work with Apogee Control 2. And with this, you can access lots of features that are inside of the Control app, but you can access them without opening the app, which is something that is great. So I'm going to show you different setups that I've got for mixing and for recording, and how you can configure it in a very easy way to work best for your setup. So if you like this kind of videos, don't forget to subscribe and leave a like and leave some comments below with any questions you've got. So the first thing we want to do is launch our Apogee Control 2. It's a software that works with most Apogee interfaces. So right here on the top corner, we're going to click here and we can assign different parameters to the remote control. So this remote control is something that you buy separately. It's not that expensive. I'll leave some links below. It's cheaper than most monitor controllers. Basically, you got one big knob that is clicky. Sounds wonderful. You can see it moving on the screen. You have 3 buttons that are unassignable. So in the first one, you got the input, then you can select the headphones and you can select the speakers and adjust the volume, for instance, of the speakers, adjust the volume of the headphones, select different inputs and the volume on each of them. You can see on the background how I'm changing the input volume right here. And just clicking here, we can change the number of our inputs. And then we've got 8 assignable buttons. This is great. It already comes pre-assigned, but you can choose whatever you want. You have here the preset list. So I have my mix mode and my recording mode. And for my mix mode, let's start with that. I'm going to show you how I have it configured. So first of all, we have the 1, 2, 3, 4 right here. Then the ABCD right here. We can also change what the encoder press does. So that is great as well. So for the number 1, you can just click here and select any of these parameters. So first of all, I have selected mono speakers. That means that it will sum all my output assigned for speakers. It will sum it into mono. So we can actually choose, for instance, mute panic. So that is if you're having some kind of feedback, maybe if you have a microphone like this with your speakers turned on, you can just mute everything when it's starting to feedback. Mute speakers, that I actually have that on my assignable button right here. You can see it clicking, changing the configuration right there. Then you can choose mute headphones, mute all outputs, or mute toggle headphones with speakers. This one I actually have it assigned to my number 4. Have a look right here, like both are active, my headphones and my speakers. If I press number 4, it'll mute my headphones. And then if I press it again, it will switch. This is something that is great because I always do that when I'm recording myself and I just want to turn off the speakers and activate the headphones. Instead of doing 2 different clicks, you just press a little button right here and it's done. I love that. Then let's go back to the remote controller. We can dim speakers, so that's great if you have somebody next to you and you're checking on a mix and you just want to lower the volume. With 1 click, it will lower several dBs and allow you to talk on top of your mix. Then dim headphones, dim all outputs. Then mono speakers, I already talked about that. I already have it set up there. Mono headphones, mono all outputs. Then toggle speaker set, that is something that's very handy. I have that set up actually for my number 3. Here we have a Dolby Atmos setup and we have other speakers as well in the studio. So that means that I can actually toggle between my speaker sets and choose another pair really easily. Then we can select speaker set 1, 2, or 3. You can see right here, it will be changing between these 3. We can clear meters, toggle talkback. That is something that's really handy. So if you have assigned talkback to somebody on the live room, you can click a button and have the talkback on and then you switch it off again, or momentary talkback. I usually use the momentary one, so I make sure I don't forget to leave the talkback on so I don't mess up the monitor mix of the musician. Then analog input level, digital reference level, you can activate phantom power, group, soft limit, flip the polarity of your channel, high pass filter, or insert. Then you can actually select different inputs. This is handy if you have like this microphone always plugged into a specific input and you just want to control it really quick and not toggle between all the inputs right here doing this. So that's really handy. So you can select the inputs, toggle device, or change the output workflow. This is something handy that I showed in my previous video of Apogee Control 2 that allows you to have different workflows. For instance, I have one set up for Atmos, but I could have several different ones depending on what kind of job I'm doing that day. If I have something that is calibrated and I want to have different volume set up for different speakers, I can actually do that. And then we can launch the control app. So for my mixing mode, then I've got on my number 1, I have mono. I can mono the speakers. On my number 2, I got them speakers. You can see it switching right here. Number 3, I have toggle speaker sets. Number 4, I've got mute toggle headphone speakers. And then for the A, I've got output workflow 1, output workflow 2, and output workflow 3, and launch control app that allows me to quick access the Apogee Control 2 and open it up if I have something else open like internet or something like that. And then I have mute all outputs for the encoder press. I don't like to change that. I actually like that that is what it does. Then if we go into my recording mode, I kept exactly the same for the ones that were on top. And for the ABCD, I changed it to a momentary talkback. You can see it right here. Phantom power for B. So I can select the input right here and just turn on and off the phantom power. Also, I can select the input that I like, and with the C, I can invert the polarity. And then for number D, I have the same thing of launching the control app. So this was very easy to use. I love it. It has made my life much easier. I don't have to reach out to the recording interface. And for bigger studios or maybe situations where you got the audio interface far away from you and you are maybe recording an instrument and you want to just have this remote control close to you so you can switch different parameters, I think it's a great choice. And also for monitor controlling, because most monitor controllers work in the analog realm, and other ones digitally as well. But something I always suggest is to have as little things as you can between your output from your interface and your speaker set. You want to monitor as pure as possible. So that is something I truly recommend you do. And if you got any Apogee interface, I suggest you add this. I'll leave some links below. I want to suggest that if you don't know how to use Apogee Control 2, that you check out the video I made for that. I made a whole series of videos also showing how I use my Apogee Symphony Mk II. Wonderful interface. I use it for my Dolby Atmos setup right here at the studio. So make sure you go and check that out. My name is Luis Piluso. You can check out our services below or just send us an email, and I'll see you on the next video. Don't forget to subscribe and leave a like. Bye bye.